India's top court has slammed the government's inaction as Delhi continues to choke under toxic smog. The Supreme Court says ad hoc measures will not help. After a few days of respite, air pollution levels in Delhi are back in the hazardous zone. Nia Punya has more.
Delhi's 20 million residents have been breathing some of the most toxic air in the world for 3 weeks now. Today, as wind speeds slowed down, pollution levels are back in the hazardous category, in many places more than 10 times the permissible limit identified by the government. The air smells and tastes of acrid smoke, and I've just been outside for a few minutes, but already my eyes are itching and my throat is burning, which is why the Indian Supreme Court has once again criticized the government on Wednesday, saying that ad hoc measures will no longer do. It's also asked whether or not the government has a long-term plan. For a week now, the top court has been hearing petitions on whether or not steps taken by the government are sufficient to address the crisis. Last week, all schools and colleges were shut indefinitely, non-essential vehicles barred from entering Delhi, and construction work halted. 6 thermal plants right outside the city were also shut down temporarily. But earlier this week, when the air quality improved marginally, construction work was allowed to resume. The court criticized this, warning that restrictions should only be lifted once the air clears up. It also said that the government needs to have a system in place to forecast poor air quality days and should take steps ahead of time instead of reacting once pollution levels worsen. The court will resume hearing that case next week. Meanwhile, parents of hundreds of children in Delhi have written to the regional government requesting that schools be allowed to reopen. Parents have said that instead of allowing construction work to restart, the government should prioritize the education of children. Schools in Delhi had only been open for a week before they were shut again. Parents say children first bore the brunt of COVID-19 lockdowns and are now suffering because of air pollution. Millions of children in India don't have access to digital devices that could allow them to study from home, and experts are pointing out even keeping children away from school won't necessarily protect them from the toxic levels of air pollution in New Delhi. And on Wednesday, the Delhi government held a high-level meeting, after which it announced that starting next week, all schools and colleges in the national capital will reopen for in-person classes once again. Neha Punya, CNA, New Delhi.